Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to today's live Q&A session with me, and hopefully Chris Palmer does come along. Thought we'd get started. Oh, he is here.
Sorry, couple minutes. I was talking to Andy. Sorry.
We are live, by the way.
Oh, what's up, man?
So before we actually go into anything, check out the channel sponsor, Mr. Randy Rodet, who is here with us. Press releases by 38 Digital Market. The link is below. Press releases for brand awareness, link building, equity, a deliverable for a client, whatever you want to use it for, use the link below. Different packages available, and Randy can sort out even writing the press release. I have literally went to Randy and said, dude, I don't have an article. I don't have an idea. Just make some shit up. And Randy's like, oh, cool, Craig. And done his thing. So check him out. Link is below. Andy's here. So there you go. Chris Palmer, what is that behind you? You've got a TV and a green screen. What the fuck's going on?
Oh, you like that, do you? That's just a writing board. It's like a little whiteboard. Yeah.
Is that the actual whiteboard we've been waiting to see?
Yeah, man. Yeah. You like that?
Shows it working, dude. Fire it up.
Fire it up. Okay. So you just click this little button over here, and then you just kind of...
Dude, can you get Google up on that as well? Or can you just draw on it?
What's that?
Can you get Google and shit on that screen?
Yeah, I just started messing with it. You just click on this. Just kind of come up here. And then, like, I've been watching one of my personalized videos, you know. This is a big hit right now. It's probably slow because we're streaming, but yeah. The browser is not like Chrome. You know, it's a Samsung browser, so it's a little bit different. But, yeah, that's it, dude. Pretty cool, right?
I like it.
Yeah, it's super cool. The little guy and I were in here drawing on it. I was going over like website stuff with it. It's fun. I made a video with it already. It seemed to get a good response, so I was really happy.
I think I don't know why, Chris, right? But there was a guy called Peter Van de Graaf, and he had this iPad. And he's walking around with this iPad at Brighton SEO years ago.
Yeah.
And when he was talking to people, he's like, come here. And he's like talking about tiered link building. He would just draw it out on the fucking iPad. And things just made a lot more sense.
That's right.
But every time he spoke, people were like crowded around him in this fucking iPad all night. And I'm like, man. And that's where I think that screen, and obviously Rand Fishkin back in the day was able to do his thing and all that. I just think it adds a different element to it. So,
yep.
Yeah, let's say
I thought that whiteboard Wednesday, man. I know it's mods and I know it's, you know, a little bit too white hat, but I really like those videos.
Why do you call it Black Hat Wednesday?
I don't know. I was thinking about just running with the whiteboard Wednesday. Man. It's back. Can't do that.
So you can do whatever you wish. Honey, good to see you. Usman is trying to promote a Fiverr gig.
Good.
Usman, you need to do better than promote that in a live stream. I would be telling people not to buy the fact that you have to punt it through someone else's live stream. Would suggest that you are probably not offering a great service there, but I might be wrong. But anyway, use it at your peril, guys. Monari, good to see you. Invite from Mr. Randy Rodet. Thank you, Randy. Software Shed, Joe is here. Can that thing show the weather? Yes.
Yeah. It could show the weather, yes.
Mario, the hair and nail guy, is here. Show the election results. Is there an election on right now in America?
I couldn't tell you. I I've been trying to learn PPC. I'm learning PPC, so I've been consumed with that.
Fuck the election, just let's go for some PPC training.
Yeah. I'm on like my third training now. I'm pretty much, I'm feeling good. I have yeah. I didn't know you had to run through, I forget what the number was, 200,000 or something through the account before you could get that little Google logo thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know you had to run X amount. So I went in to like get it. I got the manager account and everything. And I was like, wait, you got to run through. So I talked to one of the clients and I'm like, I'm just learning. Like, can we attach the account a little bit in here? They're like, not mine.
Dodgy bastards.
So, yeah. I'll figure something out.
But Darren is a fan of the whiteboard as well.
Cool.
Heinrich, good to see you, Heinrich. Custom guards, when you bringing back the client calls? I am home now for a few months, so I'm going to start doing them. I'm not sure if they're going to be client calls or just calls around, because I used to do these calls, Chris. I don't know if you've seen them, but all the stupid things that clients would phone up and ask you and say to you and all that stuff. So we used to just do a kind of mock version of that, where a guy in the office would phone me and ask the dumbest shit, and just to highlight that these things happen. But we kind of ran out of ideas for a while, but there's obviously a lot of dumb shit that goes on in the industry, full stop. So not just client-based stuff. So I might just call it calls and go down that route and see if we can have a bit of fun, because they were fun to do. Whiteboard Friday. You need the hipster moustache.
Yeah.
Right, Chris?
I can't grow facial hair to save my life.
Hitalib is here. But questions, guys, put them in the chat. We will rattle through as many of the questions as we possibly can over the next 53 minutes. Keep them coming. We will get to them. Try and be as specific as you possible with your question. Something along the lines of, explain to me how to do SEO, or something generic is not suitable because there's so much to it. So try and be very specific to get the best answer. But Heinrich has a question. If I have a website with 1,000 pages and my competitors have 25,000, and I build a rapid campaign to generate all of this content in 12 months, will Google give penalty or spam?
I highly doubt that you would get a penalty. I think, do I think that you could generate that? Yes, I think you could. Do I think you would get a penalty? No. I think you're going to need quite a few indexing keys. But other than that, I think you'll be fine. As long as you have really good content, I think you'll be great.
Heinrich, all I would say, just one little thing. Out of the 25,000 pages that your competitor has, how many of those get traffic? You can check top pages on Ahrefs or something like that. And like we always say, that 80-20 rule, 80% of the traffic comes through 20% of the pages. So you might not have to necessarily do 25,000. You might be able to do a whole bunch less. Target the pages that are winning for them, the ones that are getting traffic. Try and go after those first and build it up. Don't necessarily have to go for the sheer volume. And I include myself in that. 80% of my pages don't get any fucking traffic, so they're going in the bin. And that's it. So there you go. Darren Muzzy says, now I will be able to understand what Chris says. What this says to me, Chris, is that I've corrupted Darren Muzzy and he can actually understand me and not you. That's I'm going, dude. That is an achievement. If he can understand me, unless you're telling me to buy a whiteboard as well, Darren. That could be his angle. Probably send me an affiliate link to Dodgy Bandit. Nairobi SEO, good to see you. Not saw that name. before, so good to hear. Make sure you do subscribe and also check out Chris Palmer SEO. Morning from Seattle, Nerdy Romero. Joe is asking, what are the hottest niches for affiliates?
I can give you this. I would just go and take a look. I think we've talked about this before. Go and take a look on Empire Flippers or Flippa. Go take a look at those and see what sites are probably generating the most multiples back. What's the most profitable? What you'll find is it's probably in the hardest niches. So I think the big winners are the stuff that we don't see, or something really odd or reclusive, like micro pigmentation tattooing or something, like some kind of affiliate for that maybe is probably a winner. I don't know. But those are the places I would start and go and see what's consistently performing the best. And that's where I would start my journey.
So the only other thing I would say, because I agree totally what Chris is saying, out of all of the SEO industry guys that I have personally met and had some insight into their businesses, and I'm not going to name names, but some of the biggest names, you end up asking them, what niche are you in? And it's always something fucking bizarre, like anal bleaching cream or fucking... dude, you laugh. I'm not even fucking kidding. Anal bleaching cream, someone in our industry sold a website for a few $1 million in that niche. So it's, wow. It's, and, out of all the guys that I bump into, the ones that make the most money are not necessarily in something like gambling or real estate. It's none of those. I'm not saying you can't make money in those niches. Far from it. There's a lot of money. But I think the important thing that you said, Chris, is the kind of reclusive, weird-ass niches are sometimes where the money's at.
That's right.
So, yeah, check out what's going on in Empire Flippers. I looked at Empire Flippers. Someone was tweeting me, and they were asking about multiples. I actually saw a website in the health space. It doesn't tell me, specifically the health thing, but it went for a 67 times multiple. 60 fucking 7 is the highest I've seen in terms of a multiple. So you can get an idea of, the kind of multiples on Empire Flippers, Flipper, and some niche ideas in there. So yeah, hopefully that helps you. Honey, any online marketplace or website to sell plumbing leads? Do you guys out in America use eLocal, right? Is there other ones like that as well, or is eLocal the main one?
That's the one I hear of a lot, but I'm not looking to generally sell leads, but I've heard that one quite a few times.
So eLocal, honey, will eat up your plumbing leads all day, every day. That's the big one. That's many of the folks that I know in America use, but obviously selling leads is not my kind of thing as such. So I'm not sure or familiar with any of the other ones over there. I certainly know here in the UK, we don't even have an eLocal. You literally have to go direct to the plumber to negotiate a lead gen deal. And we don't have an eLocal who buy up all those leads, which is pretty sad. Pratik Gandhi, the king is back. Not seen you for a long time. Hope you're well, buddy. I met Pratik in Paris a few years ago. Unisova, hi from Thailand. We've got bloody everyone from everywhere. Hitalib, I sent massive traffic to the main page of my website, then building directly links using GSA and only indexing high authority backlinks from that campaign. Is there any risk in that method?
I think there's risk in any method, but The problem, see, here's the deal with GSA. Like, you can be very, very selective on what links you're going to place, and you can only place the best ones. Very low outbound, good keywords, everything's clean. The problem is it's in that software. It's been seen. It's been placed. So that could be good for months, but it shows up on one list one time. It's over. That thing will get cooked. So keep those links away from directly pointing to your site. Build them to buffers or links that are already out there to build your tier route. That'll be your best option, because that's what I've always ran into. You could be super clean, but 6 months down the road, you go and look at that same site that used to be great. It's toast. So keep it tiered.
Unisova, I see a lot of traffic for some typo variations of my brand keyword. Does it make sense to create pages optimized for them to capture that traffic? I see my competitors using those against me.
Well, if you're seeing consistent keywords showing up, but it's in the same keyword grouping as your primary, right? The best thing to do is just increase the density of those specific keywords in the current content that you already have. This way we could grab those keywords. The only way it would make sense to make another page is if it's outside of the grouping of keywords, meaning when I search for this keyword or a variation of keyword, Google's showing different results. Then you create a new page. But in this case, usually increase the density on the current page.
Yeah, I would agree with that. No need for a competing page to go after the same search term is essentially what you don't want to be doing. What's your thoughts on TikTok SEO? Is there a blueprint?
You know, I lost a significant amount of interest only because of the types of leads that it was producing for my business. So do I think there's opportunity there? Yes, but not for what I do. So I'm probably not the best person to ask because I lost interest in it.
Would you say that it was like the crappy low-level leads that were coming through TikTok?
1,000,000%. Or people that want to watch more short content.
Yeah.
You know, but for actually, like, honestly, like, what's the probability of a lawyer sitting on TikTok to see an SEO video? Unlikely, you know.
Dude, I'm not sure I agree with that. I mean, TikTok more traffic than fucking Google, statistically. You're not telling me TikTok doesn't. I'm not suggesting lawyers go there and search for SEOs. That definitely not. But the exposure you get by law of averages, you've got to land a couple of big hitters. You've got to, Chris. I might be wrong, but you've got to.
I'm sure. So no, that's 100% agreeable. But the time investment to reward ratio, like, I'm sure if I put out 1,000 videos on there, I'd probably hit. But if I put out 1,000 pieces of content or 1,000 videos, I'm guaranteed to hit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well,
so it's, yeah.
I mean, just to be clear, Custom Guards, my TikTok journey has been shaking my fat ass on TikTok. I don't promote SEO content on there. Any time I have, it's kind of bombed, it would be safe to say. It's the audience that I seem to have on there would rather see me doing some, if you can call it dancing, if you can call it dancing. So, I'm not invested heavily into TikTok from a business perspective, but there's sheer traffic there, sheer volume. So in terms of brand awareness, exposure, I see a lot of guys, showing podcast clips and, trying to lure people in and send the traffic over to various other platforms. So snippets of traffic, I would try it. That's all I can say. It might work for you more than us as SEOs, but the reality is we're a very small niche. You ask the random guy in the street, 9 out of 10 are going to say, what the fuck is SEO? So I think with TikTok, because of that, that 9 out of 10 people don't know what the hell you are or what you do. It just bombs. It doesn't work that well because the masses don't know what it is. So it's very difficult, but it can work better for real estate. It could work better for the various other types of businesses. So because it doesn't work for us, don't dismiss it. That's all I would try to emphasize. But engagement's the big thing on there. Custom guards, that's the blueprint. Getting engagement is what's going to blow you up and make your rankings on there work very well. Easy to manipulate. Chris, you done a video a couple of years back on it. What you ranked within an hour, some shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
If that, if
within
it was
an hour.
Yeah. So being an hour, saying an hour is probably quite insulting. I think it was probably, minutes.
It was fast. Yeah.
So,
As soon as I could get the engagement to hit, I could get it to rank for a hashtag or a primary keyword. But it's what's the word I'm looking for? Like, it's what you're interested in. That's how they base the feed. So like I could go out and rank for a keyword or a hashtag, sure. But the probability of me reaching the right customer, if it's showing up, unless they specifically write that in. So the only game that I saw there that I didn't try with that is, okay, if I know that I can rank for keywords, if I could hit every variation of keyword and get in that top page, so like 1,500 different words, 1,500 different videos, that would probably be the way to hit that. That's actually a good idea. Maybe I should try that. That's a good idea.
I'll tell you something else I've noticed in TikTok, Chris. I don't know how they're doing it, what software they're using, but if anyone else is in TikTok, you've probably seen movie clips all cut up. So they're showing you like a 2 or 3 minute video, a clip of a movie, and then they're showing you a part 2, a part 3, a part 4, a part 5. Now, if you look at those accounts, some of those accounts are a month old and have 1 million followers, and they're following no one. And this is some form of automation. So they're just fucking with the algorithm and just chopping up existing content from YouTube or Vimeo or wherever the hell they're getting these movie clips from, and just chugging them out in a massive scale. And these are you're talking millions of views, millions of fucking views, and these accounts are getting millions of followers. So there's definitely a flaw, if you want to call it that, in the TikTok system. So there is a blueprint there where you can basically run wild and grow and expand your following and everything and reach fairly easy. What that software though is called, I'm not sure, but yeah, there's definitely a blueprint. ChatGPT. If you were to do a new project, what percentage would you spend on content versus links, Chris? Obviously, you're going to say it depends what that project looks like. But let's say, I'll give you a scenario. Brand new project, brand new domain name, you've got no content, you've got no fucking links. The first 6 months, what percentage of your budget goes in content and what goes on links?
I'd probably say 75% of the budget goes towards content in the first 90 days. I would say once that 90 days hits, then it starts decreasing towards content and significantly rising for links.
Yeah.
3 months, 4 months, 6 months is a little bit, that's a nicer time frame. I like that. If it's a brand new project, 6 months is probably better.
Yeah. So hopefully that gives you a better insight, ChatGPT. But anything else you want to know, please do ask. Joe is still on the PBN for clients and affiliate at the same time. What would be a good niche for this? News, general services, or product site? Any. So if you're going to have a PBN that you're going to use to power up your client's website and also run affiliate on it, for me, it could be any of those. But news is probably the easiest way to kind of make that look semi-natural. You know, if you had a product website that was full of links and all that kind of stuff, I'm not so sure. But I would probably say news would be where I would hide it and try and capitalize on some of that traffic that's on there. Whether it be display ads, you're monetizing it through the link sales, as well as propping up your client's website. So I would probably say that's a good mix. But Chris, what is your opinion?
I like the mixture only because I think it would be faster to get the news out. Instead of hunting down like offers, then I got to be more particular, and then I have to worry about. I think there's a lot less to worry about with the news, so I might go the news angle. I like that. I think it'd be faster, But if you already have products in mind or specific affiliate programs in mind, rock out. Yeah, but make sure they're different. I mean, how are they going to be the same? Is it going to be the same codes in the back end? I literally, it's funny. I deployed on 100 sites, AdSense, and I'm like, hey, I was either Craig or this other guy I talked to, and I'm like, hey, we're going to put AdSense on these sites, and they're like, on all the sites? I'm like, yeah, I was thinking about it, but I already did it. And then I had to go back to all the sites and take it off. I'm like, all right, which one is booming the best with traffic? All right, we'll keep it there.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that, it all tying together. I was like, that makes sense. I screw up all the time. It's all right. I'll never do it again.
Hey. TG Bowman Jr., good to see you. Pratik is asking, how can you manage the Google Core update, Chris? Very general question, Pratik, but
I think like everyone else, I just hold on and keep working my process. I mean, what else can you do, man? Think about what if or what could, or wait your time, see how it's affected your SERP, and then make adjustments. That's all you can do. I don't worry about it until after the fact because I have to see what's going on with my site and my SERP. Because you'll all read 20 different things. And then I'll be like, oh, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this. And then previously in the past, you'll go in and screw with stuff. Like in 2017, 2018, I would make adjustments as I read. And then I was like, that's stupid. I just wait and see. Most stuff goes back. Yeah.
Here is a question that I've never seen before. Is there any value in an OnlyFans link from a top creator? You ever had an OnlyFans link before, Chris? You maybe have.
I've never had one from a top creator, but depending on how much visibility they have, and how, what is their brand perceived? Are they a high ticket type of person? I could see potential there. I don't know about the link value, but what about the added benefits of people seeing that link? I don't know what you're selling. You're selling lube cream or something. What?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's perfect. I don't know. I think traffic could be potential there. The link value is probably worthless, but the traffic.
I could be wrong here, right? But I know one of Lee's businesses is the ear cleaning niche, so wax removal from your ear. So does that make any difference to your answer? So he's got a wax removal business, a link from some chick on OnlyFans. Is that going to
I can't see that. No. Now, if you were selling specialized meet and greets or something, that would be profitable. Hey, for another $1,000, I'll give you 20 minutes extra or something over here private, or I don't know, ear cream or ear wax. I can't see that being, it just doesn't, the product market fit isn't there. You know what I'm saying?
So yeah,
I could be wrong though.
Certainly, Lee, if someone asked me if I wanted an OnlyFans link, I'm not sure I'd be bending over backwards to take it, other than just for a laugh. Yeah. Not something I've ever sought out to try, but
no.
I can only imagine that they're no follow anyway, Chris. Having never been an OnlyFans, just in case the wife's listening, I think they're a no follow link. So I'm going to get slapped. I know that much. Someone's going to report that comment back to the wife.
I did read a headline somewhere that some chick made like $13 million, and I was curious. Wait, what? Off what?
You had to sign up to see,
I
right?
had to see. Yes.
Market research, right, Chris?
I had to. I think it was like $13. I was like, all right, you got me for $13.
Oh man.
Oh.
Anyway, Unisova, is Google Analytics 4 a must? Any risk from an SEO perspective using an alternative like PWIC? Do you see there being a problem using a third-party analytics provider?
I can't see. No, because Google's going to get their data no matter what. So whether you install it or use someone else's is irrelevant to them. So go for it, whichever one's best for you.
I would tend to agree. I can't see Google penalising. I mean, I've got PBNs and shitty websites that don't even have analytics installed. Does it impact my rankings? Nah.
No.
So, if anything, it would be a very small factor. But
Google's there. Don't you worry. Yeah. They're there.
They're reading my Gmails, the tweets, the whole works. So, anyway, hottest niches, firefighting and BBQ ovens and Glasgow men. There you go for Joe. Any tips for competing against parasite pages for super competitive affiliate keywords?
I have found with some others that generating very similar articles on the same parasites, generally you'll get rewarded because of the freshness aspect. So if you can recreate, like, let's say it was, I don't know, a WordPress.com or something. I would take that exact article, same URL, same title, same everything with a higher density and repost it, and you might get a pop. That's the only thing that I've ever ran into. Because it's the same exact platform, but I don't know what else they're pointing at it. But that's it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I don't see that too often, these parasites jumping up there for the terms that I'm going for, but.
Oh, dude, in some niches, that's very common. Even there's a niche that I operate in, and the top page or the top 5 is primarily parasite SEO. The actual big players are like position 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So people are not leveraging WordPress.com, and it's high profile press, New York Times or fucking I think the Vogue magazine is one that you're competing against, shit like that.
Makes sense.
So I think, but like Chris says, can you get something similar? And of course you can, if you've got enough money. Can you beat the Vogue, for example, with
a new Vogue
in somebody's shady, news website, that's got no power? Absolutely not. So you need to, if you're going to compete, you have to compete with the same domain or something of a similar quality. So there you go.
Concept. I like that.
PG, when link building to pages competing for very competitive affiliate keywords, how would you decide on the backlink anchor text? Rip the competitor's anchor text and tweak slightly?
I would go take a look at the average of the top 3 or 5 on their primary, their exact, and their like their phrase match, their exact, or their variations, and figure out, well, which density of these types of anchor texts are coming in. It's not the whole profile. I'm concerned about, which the profile is what I'd be looking at. So, and that would be the number that I would be optimizing around. So figure that out. What's the exact, the variation, the phrase? What's the percentage of those that they're building in and what quality? And that's where I would target.
Cool. Lee says there is a couple of trade lead sales sites in the UK like My Hammer. There are a couple of smaller ones, for sure. There's another one I can't remember. Is it Trusted Trader? I can't remember, but if they do that or not. But yeah, there are a few handful, but nothing like eLocal just eating up your leads. So But check out My Hammer as Lee Bandoni's suggestion. Flavia, how much will move the needle? 100 backlinks from social media accounts. Depends on the traffic, Flavia, that comes from those social media accounts more than anything. But Chris,
that's it right there. It'll move the needle if it's driving actual people. But if you just go out there and build, 500 links or 100 links or 20 links from social media, I highly doubt that'll be effective at moving the SERP. Unfortunately.
What are your ideas for mass 301 redirects from high domain authority for tier 2 and 3? Why is what I'd be asking Nairobi. First thing is high volume or mass 301 redirects to tier 2 and 3. Why would you do that to tier 2 and 3? There are cheaper ways like edits, GSA blasts, whatever, at that level. Why would you want to do that on a massive scale? I think that would be crazy. I'm not saying 301 redirects don't work. One, I wouldn't recommend you do it in a high, massive scale in any way. You don't want to leave, a backlink profile full of 301 redirects. You want to mix your backlink strategy up. But secondly, I certainly would not be doing 301 redirects at tier 2 and 3 level at all. Just that's not for me, but maybe Chris has got a different answer.
Yeah. So we're going to go out and purchase that. Yeah. Not to the tier 2 or tier 3. I can't see that. If it was something worthwhile, maybe I would build it into subdirectory pages and power it up that way. But mass to the links that are already pointing, probably not. No, I would pick select pages that you already have and then point those in, but not tiers. You could, but I think there's much better cost-effective ways to do that.
Yeah.
I don't think 0.301s. It's no good. Plus, after X amount of months, they start losing equity, so no, pass.
Hopefully that helps you, Nairobi, one way or another. But as Chris says, more cost-effective ways to do your tier 2 and tier 3 links. I can't get rid of that fucking COVID cough. But Chris, what is your framework for choosing tier 2 or 3 link anchors?
It's generally going to be either exact or a variation. It's very, very simple. I don't want to get too far off of the relevance of what I'm going for. So as long as it's highly relevant to the primary keyword, like exact, a variation, a different phrase, that's what we're going for. A paragraph that contains a lot of different keywords is effective. I don't switch it up much. I'm just a lot more aggressive on the second tiers, third tier. Usually just second, though.
Cool.
Yeah.
What are the pitfalls of having lots of UGC pages that don't really rank for anything specific? How to minimize the risks whilst keeping the pages? My question, Tonya, would be, if you've got user-generated content that don't rank for anything, why would they be on there? I would be content pruning, getting rid of anything that didn't rank because it's draining the absolute shit out of my website. So I wouldn't want to minimize the risk whilst keeping the pages. Chris, I'm not sure if I'm picking this up wrong, but I want to have those.
Well, and you have a lot of user-generated pages. So they're generating, but it's not a page where it's user-generated content on the page. So they're able to create the pages. So that's interesting. But if it's just content, what I would do is probably just no index that, keep it follow. Because if there's still people coming in there and they're still generating activity, let that go on. but just I would no index it if there's no value there. Still pass the power though if there's anything there. I don't know if there is, but if they're coming there and there's still people there and it's generating activity and people and humans and eyeballs and then secondary searches and secondary people coming in, keep it there. Just no index it if there's no value. But if it's no traffic, how are they getting to it?
Yeah.
Where is it coming from? You know, does that make sense to you, Craig?
Yeah.
How?
They don't rank for anything then.
Yeah. How are they getting the user generated though?
Yeah.
Like, how are they finding it?
Yeah.
Right.
Unless you're, yeah, I don't really kind of get the model there, but yeah, let us know, Tonya, if we're wildly off the mark. But I'm not sure I'm picking. I just thought it was me that was not picking that up properly, but there may be a way that you're getting those people into that page. Let us know. Is it from social media, whatever? You know, yeah. Let us know. We can maybe dig a bit deeper. Backlinks or digital PR. Still buying links works. So both, Pratik, you want digital PR links, you want backlinks. Sadly, the only way to get them is buying them. As much as I'd love them to be given for free or some other weird way of getting them, sadly, you've got to cough up the
coin,
money, the moolah. And if you're looking for digital PR, there is a link below. Pratik, Mr. Randy Rodet, 38 Digital Market, does great press releases, so check him out. But yeah, buying links is good. I'm going to get pulled up for saying that by someone. Can't believe you said that. But yeah, buying links is good. I'll say it again. ZD Electrical. Happy birthday, Chris, for last week. Happy birthday, Chris. I had no idea it was your birthday. You must be 40 now, Chris.
No, I'm 38. I'm 38.
Dude, you've been 38 since we fucking started speaking.
No.
Come on, dude.
I'm 38.
Fuck's sake.
I actually thought, I actually told a couple of my buddies I was 39, and they're like, wait, how? Like, you're born in 85. How are you 39? You know, I was like, oh, yeah, 38. Giving myself an extra year.
Dude, every time I get a year older, my wife always adds on a year or two to the thing. I don't know why. And the mother-in-law always adds on a few years and stuff. So, yeah. When I turned 40, I think they were calling me 50.
You'll be 50,
yeah. But hey, that's what happens. If the Moss, if Mios, hopefully I've got that right. Have you ever noticed enormous meta descriptions, including all of the words of the product description? Is this practice good for ranking? One of our competitors does it. So meta descriptions, you're only supposed to see 160 characters on Google. Have you seen people ramming them full? I mean, as far as I'm concerned, meta descriptions, they used to, years and years ago, be rammed full of keywords to the point where any benefit from your meta description in terms of SEO benefit was literally void. The click-through rate and engagement from having a good meta description, of course, is good practice, but I don't believe that having a padded out, rammed meta description is going to do anything for your SEO at all. What do you think, Chris?
Well, I think that depend upon the intent of the searcher and what you're searching. Google's going to change out the title and the meta description no matter what, right? So could I pad out the title and the meta description to talk to those different intents? Yes. Now, as far as the meta description having a benefit, I think there's a small smidge there, but packing it full of keywords, yeah, no. I agree with that, Craig. That's a dead issue. But having those variations in there is probably a good idea. I think where you'd want to focus is more on the title than the meta description. But all of that text is going into the code. So I think it is being counted somehow.
Dude, all of your meta descriptions are fucking blank.
Most of the time. Yeah, because Google's going to write whatever the heck they want. So that's the options. You can either write whatever you want or clear them out. On client stuff, though, I usually put 2 paragraphs.
2 paragraphs. Fair enough. Whatever works. But there you go. FMOS, 2 different opinions, but hey, try them out and see which one works best for yourself. But if the competitor's doing it and you feel that that's working, I would, because of my thought process and all that, doesn't mean it's right. Try it out and see if you get any benefit from it. Do not take anything that anyone says is gospel, including myself. Why not change it on a couple just to see if anything happens? And
yeah, you can't get hurt putting it. Yeah, like.
But Tonya, how do you identify which supporting pages of your competitor help the most to rank a specific page? Sometimes clusters are not obvious or have too many pages, and I want to prioritize. Is there a quick way of identifying those, Chris?
Well, inside of Ahrefs, you can break down the structure. And it'll let you know, like, it'll show you the architecture. Okay, so here's the top level page. Let's say it's truck accidents. And then it'll show you all of the supporting. It'll show you the states, the cities. It'll break it down so easy. That's one thing that Ahrefs does a little bit differently than SEMrush. And then from there, what I would look at is, well, which ones are driving traffic that are in that, what would you call it? Not the wireframe, in the architecture down. So which ones are in that silo that are actually driving traffic? Well, those are the ones that are probably applying the benefit the most. And those are the ones that I would keep. Usually in a silo, like if say they'd make 20 articles because they want to hit some odd, relevance around a specific keyword, usually 5 or 6 of them will take off. That's what I would pick. But don't just go to your leading or what you think is the leading. Usually you could pick out 2 or 3, sometimes 5. If you go to like each of the top people, you could find really good longer tail informational based queries that are driving traffic for leading competitors off of a primary by going to each of them and figuring out, and then put that into your content plan. I literally just did this for a client, that literal thing. We're running out of ideas. I'm like, I have an idea. And that's exactly what we did. Let's look at this guy. We actually did the all 100. Well, I didn't do it. I just said, okay, here's what we should do. And then we went through, figured out all the long tail informationals, and then made the content plan around that for this month.
Hello to Mr. Paul Hogden. Good to see you. Guys, if you haven't already, please do like the video if you're enjoying the content. Honey, how to get in Google Discover? Does Google consider citation for local news, like for a specific region?
That's an interesting. I think there's. It doesn't. It seem like they show favoritism for that section.
Yeah.
You always see the same things popping in there. Sometimes you'll get lucky, right? But it's usually for some obscure term or something.
I had a guy, Madge from Magic PR. He got me Google News approved, and I got a bit of traffic from Google Discover for like a week, and then it just fucking died again. Yeah, it never came back. So it does seem like there are favorites. Why they're favorites, how they're favorites, all that kind of good stuff. Could be their sheer power, brand awareness, and everything else. Is there a way to kind of manipulate that? I'm not so sure. I think if they don't like you, they don't like you, and that's all there is to it. So,
so I'm not the only one. I've tried that. I lost interest because it was like I couldn't find a repeatable system to guarantee it.
Yeah, and there's good traffic. Don't get me wrong. See the the week or whatever it was. I don't even know if it was as long as a week. I would need to double check. But the small amount I did, it was decent. It was decent traffic. So definitely worthwhile if you can get in there, for sure. But
Good luck getting in there, though. Yeah.
yeah. But yeah, there you go. That's some kind of answer. Probably not the one you're looking for.
Right. Sorry. Not the one you're looking for, but we did what we could.
Reason to Design. Good to see you back, mate. Hope you're well. Flavia. Chris, can you give me 3 power links that I can get for free?
3 power links for free? No, I could give you high authority links that you can get for free. But 3 power links for free, very highly unlikely. I'm sorry.
Why?
Because high power to me would mean it's a combination of traffic plus power, and you can't generally get that for free.
Cool. Because if he's getting them for free, or she, I want them for free as well. So
yeah.
I'm the first fucking in the queue, Flavia.
I'm first.
Some. But
free, lots of high authority, but nothing like super juicy that's going to be free.
Chris, this is probably more a question for you. Either of you run any tests on max interlinking value on a page before they lose value?
Well, it's kind of interesting. I think the long story short is when I was in SIA, I think is what it was called, they ran a test on this. And I'm pretty sure that the number was 3. So you can keep going, but there's no more benefit. So 3 internal links from one page to another is probably your max. But that was many, many years ago, and things potentially have changed. But I don't know. I usually build 2 to 3 internal links going to a page and that's about it. Why? Is there something different? Like, I just can't see why would there be added benefit. I have page C and page B, and home page is page A. I take C to B and I link it over 50 times with 50 different anchor text. Will I get more benefit by doing 50 more? Like, I just don't see it. You know, that's an interesting concept, but I highly doubt it. That's an easy test. Can I boost the page for secondary keywords by adding more internal anchors? That's an easy test to set up. That's a good idea. I don't know. I'll let you know. That's an easy test to set up, though.
Yeah.
It's a good idea.
I'm sure you asked this last week, Unisova, under a different name. Any suggestions on where to source developers? I know Chris has a video on sourcing VAs for content. Do you use the same for development work? So where do you find developers? I know you're not going to offer up your developer, as someone asked last week, but where do you find developers?
I can't recall the name off the top of my head. However, there is a Fiverr for developers. All right. And all the guys, the better guys that are on Fiverr and your Upworks, like the dude that I just got that's doing really good work with me, he's on there. I can't think of the name of it, but a couple Google searches, I'm sure you'll find it. It's literally a Fiverr, but just for developers. You're going to pay a little more, but you won't have to like hire 5 people to find one gem. They're all gems. Can't think of the name off the top of my head.
Hi, Jut Rehan. Joe has said he spent so much time checking expired domains. Isn't it just easier to start from scratch with a domain? Hours wasted searching. What's your opinion on that, Chris?
A lot. Sometimes it is better to start with a fresh domain. especially if you're not in a hurry. But I'd rather waste hours than months. So will I spend hours to save months? Yes. Yes, I will. You're speeding up the process. So can I find the right domain that's been online the right amount of time with a low amount of referring domains that's going to jumpstart my success? And it's going to cost me hours instead of waiting months. It's time well invested. I mean, but that's up to you.
There you go. Jut, I am very well. Chris is looking very well as well. Hope you are as well, buddy. If I had great domains pointed to my brands in the past, bad idea to convert them now to new affiliate websites. I would imagine, Joe, that the link equity and everything is dead because you pointed them over. You know, it depends how long ago these great domains were pointed over. Like, for example, my old agency, when I stopped doing that, I redirected the domain to Craig Campbell SEO. You know, it was a DR, I don't know, 40 or 50. It's a DR0 now. It's gone. Could I revive that fucker? I don't think so. You know, all the kind of, it's dead as far as I'm concerned. So I wouldn't go back now and try and create an affiliate website out of it. But, you know, if you only had a couple of months, would that kind of DR and link equity be there? Or would it be passed over to your site? I'm not sure. But, you know, after you do the 301 redirect, you eventually see that the old domain does die away and all the metrics die. So I don't think so. I wouldn't be going and doing that, Joe. But that's just my opinion. Chris, what do you think?
I think link decay is real. It's hard to say how long. So I think it's somewhere between 6 months and a year. It does feel as though that it could be longer. I'm just throwing out numbers. It does feel that links lose value over time, you know, so it depends on how long it's been, you know, but I would venture to guess that they're probably toast.
Here's the scenario, Chris, right? I just want to double check this before I open my big mouth. Give me 1 second. So here is the situation. So you're talking about link decay and all this kind of stuff. I just want to throw, I'm going to share my screen just for a quick second. Present, share screen, entire screen. Job done. So Chris, back in 2019, I decided to change from craigcampbellseo.co.uk to craigcampbellseo.com. Even 3 years later or 4 years later, whatever that works out at, it still sits at a DR41. Obviously, the traffic died because that was mid-2019 when I done that redirect. But, so, you know, obviously, a lot of the other ones I've seen, the DR and everything dies away. With this particular one, it's not died away. Obviously, I look at the referring domains and I can see Search Engine Land, SE Roundtable, and a whole bunch of other, you know, high-profile websites. So, could I revive that? You know, is the link decay? Does that happen as quick with every website? I'm not so sure, but yeah. So that one, just strangely enough, and don't ask me why I look at things like that, but I'm a bit of a weirdo. But yeah, that DR never seems to diminish on that particular website.
Is that redirect been in place the whole time?
Yeah.
And do you still pay for? Is that still up somewhere?
So yeah, no, the website is still hosted and it's still got an SSL. The problem I've got, Chris, is when I don't renew the SSL, the redirect doesn't work. It breaks. So I do renew the hosting and the SSL on the .co.uk because it fucks things up. further down the chain.
Because you did individual pages, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's the way to do it.
So yeah, I just thought I'd throw that out there, Joe, just in case.
Like you didn't just go to the Namecheap and just like throw on the whole thing to the
No.
It's still hosted. Each individual pages are there. The equity's still there. The .com gets burnt down. Tomorrow you could fire up UK. Be right back in business.
Yeah.
No, that's of course you're gonna. Yeah, that site's still sitting pretty. It's great. It never fell. It never dropped. It's still alive, technically.
So the answer there would be depending on how the redirects were done, Joe. If you just do a blanket full redirect, then you're kind of fucking screwed. You've given it all up. So there you go.
Yeah, that was a golden nugget, Joe.
Tonya, is it okay to copy the same entity's stuff block of text to multiple pages, say general FAQ about plumbing pages, about different kinds of plumbing services, or is it better to paraphrase? Paraphrase is my answer, but Chris?
I mean, I think you could do it both either way. So I think regardless, if you just take the words and toss it in, you'll get the same effect as if you paraphrase. I think the nicer way is to paraphrase it. But could I just take that block and throw it in and get a lift? Yeah, you can.
Lee is asking, what's your thoughts and links from Forbes using contributor writers who charge you about £1,200? Are they worth the investment? You don't get a follow link from Forbes. They'll link to your social media and shit like that. They don't actually give you SEO value as such, to your website, but are there additional benefits? I'm not going to sit here and say don't do it. I used Forbes for brand awareness. Obviously, Ego was in there as well. Is it realistically worth the grand or 1,200 quid or whatever it costs at the moment? I would say absolutely not. Go buy something else that actually gives you a do follow link.
Yeah, I think depending on too, like what niche you're in, like they have the advisor, they have the Connect program. I think it's $6,400 a year, and you get the profile, you get the follow link.
Yeah.
It's $6,400 a year though on Forbes to get that. I don't know. Is that worth it? I don't know. $6,400. That buys a lot of links.
Yeah.
I could buy 64 hitters with that.
Exactly. Anyway, Software Shed, and we are out of time, so we will try and wrap up quickly. Do you sign up for Amazon affiliate under your persona, or does it not matter on back end? So to answer your question, Joe, I had multiple accounts under my own personal name for Amazon affiliate. So realistically, it doesn't matter. But I wasn't sitting there with 500 Amazon affiliate websites at any one time. Let's just say that. So, but no, I had them under my own name and under one dashboard. And you just add another website. So your tag and everything will change to be relevant to the website. But yeah, use your own name. No need to mix that stuff up. We'll try.
That PBNs with the Amazon. Do you think that's worth it?
I don't see why not. If your PBNs are getting traffic good, here's the thing. What the fuck is a PBN right now? As far as I'm concerned, a PBN is not just a linkable asset. I'm not just going to set up a bunch of fucking websites for link purposes. I want money from those fucking websites. They've got to pay for themselves. So yes, they would be Amazon affiliate or have ads running on it or both of those, as well as being link equity. I'm not fucking paying the hosting fees. Amazon is going to fucking pay for it. So that's a real PBN as far as I'm concerned. A PBN with real traffic, real keyword rankings, treat a PBN like a real website. So what would you do with your own website if you're spending time and money adding content? Someone's got to pay for it, dude. So do you want to pay for that out of your own purse? No. And when I say purse, I mean purse. Yeah. You've got a purse, Joe. But yeah, I don't want it coming out of my money. I want to make this fucker pay for itself. If I need to hire a content writer every month to be adding to that, then I'm not paying for it. The fucking website will pay for it through the affiliate revenue or the ad revenue or both. So, I think you need to change your mindset and what a PBN is. And not for you, Joe, personally, but a lot of people. So a lot of people say, oh, I need to do this, I need to do that. Just treat it like a real fucking website. If it's got rankings, traffic, it makes money, it's not going to get slammed by Google. It's a real website. So it's effectively not a PBN. From it.
I just don't happen to sell links. Yeah. I like that idea. I like that. And how hard is it to? It's not really that hard to. They even don't they have the automated deal on Amazon now too?
Yeah.
Click the button, it'll just place the crap wherever.
Yeah.
I can get behind that, man. That's actually not too bad of an idea. That's free money, essentially. That's a good idea.
But Nerdy, what is your favorite phone forwarding provider? CallRail, Twilio, any others, Chris?
SignalWire.
Yeah, there you go. When writing a blog post, is there a suggested amount of internal or external links that should be added? Do you typically decide the number by considering the word count or other factors? So you're doing 2 or 3 internal, Chris?
Well, the sidebar is going to generally contain a majority of them, whatever's in the silo. That makes sense. And then external is usually 1 per 1,000, or depends on how many statistics have been cited inside the article. So, yeah, that's pretty much about it.
Besides link decay, what about domain footprints?
Yeah, what about them? Most of the time, if I'm going out and grabbing or getting links, they're not linked to each other. They're not on the same network. I'm generally not concerned with that, because if that's a concern beforehand, I'm not messing with those.
Yeah. And finally, we'll answer this one. Flavia, forum links from user about page still works. I wouldn't bother my ass. I'm sure it does work to some degree, but not for me.
Forum links, yeah.
Also, ChatGPT. How many offshore VAs do you have, Chris?
7 now. 7. Now we have 7. 7 people.
I don't even know, dude. I've got people in my office who manage the VAs underneath them. So, yeah. As we do things, the VAs go up and down. So, if we get more stuff that we need to do, selling links and whatever else I've got involvement with, then we'll just hire more people to do the heavy lifting. So, I take nothing to do with that. But
that takes a long time. That's a hard thing, adding people. That's a fun task. Yeah, man.
But on that note, guys, we are out of time. Please do check out Press Releases by 38 Digital Market. The link is below. Do check out Chris Palmer SEO on all things and all-purpose work. Just because you're a regular user, if you lost ranking in a keyword, what were the best ways you both implemented it to gain it again? It depends. That's too loose a question to answer generically. Why did you lose the keyword? Was it just dropping out the index because
an update? Anything, new people. I'd quickly go analyze who's in front of you, readjust the page based upon what Google's rewarding now. See what the difference is. Increase the internal links, increase the density. Go and see what's being rewarded and re-optimize the page. Refresh that page. That's probably the first thing.
But try and understand why it dropped out first and foremost. That, you know, that's what you need to analyze. But that could be anything, dude. Lack of links, lack of internal links, lack of content, lack of fucking whatever, lack of on page. So hopefully that helps you. But I don't want to keep Chris too late because his overtime bill is extremely high. So so we will catch you all again at the same time next week. Thank you for all the questions. And as I say, do check out Chris Palmer SEO. You might see more of that whiteboard in action over the course of the next week.
Yes.
And we'll catch you all at the same time next week, guys.
See you next week. Bye-bye.